How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. I'm a golf professional based in Four Ashes Golf Centre here in Solihull, and this channel is designed all around you. Everything I do, I am sharing my expertise so that you guys can improve your golf just as much as I get the opportunity to work with people one-to-one on a daily basis. Today we're going to be talking about that late hit. So what is a late hit and how can it introduce more power and just a better sort of hit for you when it comes to your game. As ever, if you're enjoying the video, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Use the comments box below if you've got any questions about things you'd like to see in the future, or if you've got any questions about the video, because I'm happy to elaborate and add more information in if needed. Finally, press that subscribe button as well. Videos come out pretty much on a daily basis, so if you click that little bell icon, that means that you'll receive the notifications every time a new video comes out, and you can see more of me more frequently. So the question is then, what is the point of a late hit and what is it? Well, the idea is that I like helping people hit the ball better and further. That's how I get most of my interest when it comes to golf coaching. Doesn't mean I'm not interested in accuracy, but accuracy will also come based on the fact that if you're hitting less clubs because you've gained distance, you're going to find that it's more accurate hitting a pitching wedge than it would be hitting something like a 5-iron. So if I can help you hit the golf ball further, and in their theory you start hitting it a club to maybe 2 clubs longer, then you're going to notice that you're going to become more accurate based on the fact you're going to be hitting less clubs into greens than you have done before. The idea is that basically golf is no different than any other side on sport, that we're going to be using the ground, we're going to be creating rotation, we're going to be storing energy with the hands and the arms, and the idea of a late hit is that you're going to be delivering all that energy onto the golf ball later, so therefore the golf club and the ball is going to speed up, giving you more distance. Okay then, so now we're talking about the late hit. The idea is that we are trying to hit the golf ball further and better, and therefore the energy that we have stored at the top of the backswing in terms of the relationship between the arms and the club, we're trying to hold for longer. Now, for any of you that are used to watching me on the channel, you'll understand the next move that I'm going to talk about, which is the transition. If not, then basically subscribe to the channel, have a look through some of the videos. When I've discussed anything between the transition and the movement, I'll discuss those in more detail on those videos, but for today we're just going to skim over that a little bit. The idea is that we swing up to the top of the backswing, and the first movement is that we're going to get this sense of creating this close bump before we reach the climax at the top. So the idea in this is that as I'm swinging up to the top, I'm actually starting to shift weight in towards the left hand side before I reach the top of the backswing position. Once you've done that, you're actually going to notice that you're at the top of your backswing and you've already got weight shifted in towards the lead side. From here, now you need to start triggering rotation. So again, how the hips would work is a good video to discuss so that you guys know how the hips should move, but in more detail, and again I'm just going to skim over it today. The idea is from here that we're trying to trigger a hip rotation. The left knee should start to flex. We should start to get the feeling that the hips are driving down in towards the ground, and by the time we get to left arm horizontal coming in towards the downswing, we should still notice the way we've kept on to all of that kind of laggy move and that wrist cock move at the top of the backswing, but we've now got a lot of weight shifting towards this left hand side. All the pressure has moved in more in towards that left heel, and from here I'm ready to go and release. The thing though, that's not necessarily the point where I want you to hit the ball if you're going to try and be more explosive in your game. I want you to increase the rotation, but now it's going to come around the rib cage. So basically, instead of getting to this position here and then just hitting it with hands and arms, I want us to start increasing this rotation of the ribs so that basically the chest and everything continues to rotate. So as you are releasing the club, it's going to be even more powerful. As I always allude to, like any other side on sport, this is what you would see with a baseball player, is that they would continue to rotate up to the point as when they're making a hit with the ball. They don't kind of just start coming down and then hit it with hands and arms. They keep moving, keep turning that body, because it helps maximize that rotation, which means that you can hold on to that release for longer. So next time you're down the driving range, what I'd suggest is you do a couple of pre-impact positions so you get the idea as to how it should feel when you hit the ball. The idea would be that you get yourself into obviously your setup position, don't move the club face, but now independently move the hip so the belt buckle is moving more round towards the target. You should start to get the feeling that the weight is now distributed between the left heel and the right toe. From here, that's not enough. I now want you to get the feeling that the left shoulder is rising more up as the right shoulder rises down, and you should start to get more of a kind of stretch along the rib cage on that left hand side. From here now you're going to have square shoulders, more open in the hips, and that's that feeling that you need to kind of recreate when you're getting in towards that impact position. And if you want to, you can just hit a few little shots from that position as well. So kind of just get yourself set up, open up the hips, left shoulder up, right shoulder down, right elbow should be nice and connected towards that right hip, and then just start to hit a few little shots from that position, and that should give you the sense as to where you've got to be at impact. What I'm starting to see with a lot of amateur golfers is that you're getting a lot better. People that are coming for lessons back on the fact that they've been watching some of the videos are actually starting to understand where to get to at the top and how you're supposed to move in transition. But I still see a lot of people coming through and they're kind of getting into a good position here, but then when they're at impact they look something like so, which basically means the arms end up looking a bit disconnected from the body. Well, that's because again it's the way you're releasing the club and you're stopping rotating. The idea from this position, as I've documented before, is that the feeling should be that the shoulders would be more vertically placed at impact. Again, I've mentioned the movement of the rib cage before, and what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get this feeling of the left rib cage rising up based on this right lateral bend coming in towards that hip. So at impact then you're going to look more connected and look more this way as opposed to looking like so. The rib cage possesses a decent amount of rotation. The fastest moving parts are going to be the shoulders in your golf swing, followed by the hips. But the ability to be able to move the rib cage is actually very key to being able to speed up that shoulder rotation. Because if you get to this position here and then you kind of just stop moving those shoulders and you hit it with your hands and arms, it's still going to make you a very good golfer, but you could potentially be even better. So yes, the feeling is basically it's similar to the videos that I've done before. The idea is now that we're going to try and get this feeling of the shoulders being as vertically placed as we can at the point of impact. Importantly, you're going to get this feeling of this left rib cage rising up through that hit, because that's going to keep the torso and those shoulders and the hips rotating as then you start to release the club coming in towards that impact area. Now, not only does this just trigger more rotation for you, so you'll notice that you're able to hit the ball better and further, but equally it keeps you more connected. If I can keep that right elbow working close towards my right hip, there's less that's going to be able to go wrong. Again, if I start stopping, it encourages me to release, and that right elbow doesn't stay as connected as we would like. Golf is a great game, it's a great fun sport. But it's even more fun when you can start to learn how to hit the ball better. I enjoy nothing more than going out into the golf course, and yeah, absolutely, don't get me wrong, I'm scoring well, and I'm trying to score well at least. There's always going to be days when you just don't get a bit of luck on your side, or just those putts don't drop and you're not going to score as well as you'd like. But the nice thing that you can endeavour to improve on, which wouldn't vary as much as the score, is your ability to hit the ball. Doesn't give me much more pleasure than teeing up and hitting a drive that goes a decent distance down the fairway, or compressing a 7-iron or a 6-iron or whatever it might be. It gives you a great sort of sense of satisfaction when it comes to hitting the shot. And I'm confident, as much as the people that I help with a one-to-one basis, that you guys can do it as well. So you know what to go and work on. Go down the driving range, go and get that understanding that to get that late hit, it's not good enough just to get towards this transitional period here. We want to go lower. This is when you're going to start getting the feeling of the right shoulder dropping down, left shoulder starting to come up, you're holding onto the wrist angle for later. This is going to help you continue to rotate those hips. Then you can start to hit the ball much later. Storing energy, hitting the ball later, will give you more club head speed, offer more ball speed, so therefore you can hit the ball further. Do a couple of those little impact drills as well to make sure that you understand exactly the difference between that feeling as to the correct position to be, because as I document quite a lot on this channel, you want to make sure that you're consciously competent. So rather than just the level of understanding, make sure you're doing it as well. It's starting to rain, I'm going in. I'll catch up with you guys soon. You know what to do if you want to see more of me. Press that subscribe button, little icon, and I'll catch up with you again.